Hello everyone and welcome to Physics Medical Science class. Today I want to talk about something that many people may hear in hospitals but may not fully understand. The TNM staging, especially for cancer patients and their families. You might hear doctors say things like, oh, this is a T2N1M0 or this is a stage 3 cancer. But what do these letters actually mean? So today, let's talk about what TNM really is. So in simple terms, TNM is a system doctors use to describe how far a cancer has spread. So let's start with T. T stands for tumor, which means the primary tumor itself. Doctors mainly look at two things. First, how big the tumor is and how deeply it has invaded nearby tissue. So usually T1 means the tissue is relatively small and localized. In many cancers, this often means the tumor is around 0 to 2 centimeter. T2 usually means the tumor has become larger, often around 2 to 5 centimeter, but is still mostly limited to the original organ. T3 usually means the tumor is around 5 to 7 centimeter and may already begin to invade nearby tissues or structures, and T4 is considered more advanced local disease. At this stage, the tumor is often larger than 7 centimeters and may already invade the nearby important organs. However, it is important to remember that different cancers have their own detailed staging systems. For example, lung cancer, breast cancer, all have slightly different criteria. But overall, the logic is simple. The higher the T stage, the larger and deeper the tumor invasion usually is. And next is N. N stands for nearby lymph nodes. Because cancer cells can spread through the lymphatic system, doctors will look at whether the nearby lymph nodes are involved and how many are affected. And generally, N0 means there is no lymph node involved, and N1 often means around 1 to 2 lymph nodes are involved. N3 means around 3 to 6, and N3 usually means more extensive lymph nodes spread, often involving 7 or more. Again, different cancers may have more detailed N classification, but the overall idea is also simple. A higher N stage usually means more lymph nodes spread. Finally, there is M. M stands for metastasis, which means distant spread. In simple terms, doctors look at whether cancer cells have spread to other organs. For example, a cancer that originally started in the lung may later spread to liver, bones, or brain. This is called distant metastasis. Compared with T and N, M staging is actually much simpler. M0 means there is no distant metastasis. M1 means distant metastasis is present, regardless of how many organs have been involved. After T and M are classified, doctors can combine the T, N, and M categories to form what we commonly call stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 cancer. Generally speaking, stage 1 is considered early stage cancer. This usually means the tumor itself is localized in the primary organ, usually means T1 to T2, and with no lymph node involvement and no distant metastasis. Stage 2 means that the tumor has become larger and there is limited lymph node involvement. This may include T1 to T3 disease with N0 to N1 involvement, but still no distant metastasis. And stage 3 is considered the more locally advanced disease. At this stage, the tumor may be quite large and the lymph node involvement is often more obvious. So this may include T1 to T4 disease with N1 to N3 involvement, but still no distant metastasis. Finally, stage 4 usually means the distant metastasis has occurred. At this point, the cancer may be any T stage, any N stage, but once the distant spread appears, it is classified as M1. So yeah, and also again, different cancers have their own more detailed staging systems. Some cancers even have more detailed staging, like 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, stage 2A, 2B, stage 3A, 3B, 3C. So today's explanation is a simplified version designed to help you understand the overall logic of TNM staging. And why is cancer staging so important? Well, first, it helps doctors to understand how severe the disease is. Secondly, also more importantly, is to directly affect the treatment decision. For example, for some early stage cancers, it could be treated primarily with surgery, while the middle or later stage cancers may require chemotherapy, radiotherapy, targeted therapy, and surgery together. And also at the same time, cancer staging also helps doctors estimate the prognosis and provide guidance for patients and families. So in the end, you can remember one simple rule. T looks at the tumor itself, N looks at lymph nodes, and M looks at distant metastases. And generally, the higher the number is, the more advanced the cancer spread may be. And cancer staging ultimately helps guide the treatment decisions. So in the next episode, we will continue talking about some of the classic cancer treatment methods, including surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, as well as some emerging treatments like targeted therapy and immunotherapy. So see you next time.